They treated me like an ATM, never mentioning my name. Until I said, "Since you don't need me, then the money doesn't need to continue." The day the tuition stopped, she stood at my door, her makeup ruined, her voice trembling. "Scarlett, please help us one more time." I looked at her like watching a play finally come to an end. This wasn't the beginning of my breakdown, but her pathetic end. 3 nights ago, at the celebration banquet, my father gave a speech. "Your sister is the only one in this family who has truly contributed." The banquet hall was silent for a second. My father held up his wine glass, his face full of pride. Someone started to applaud. I put down my fork, looked up, and saw Merlin smiling subtly, as elegant as a leading lady under the spotlight. My aunt's voice was shrill and loud. "Oh dear, our Merlin has had it tough. 2 children, and she still manages to support the family." My mother wiped her eyes, moved. "If it weren't for her, our family would have fallen apart long ago." I heard the clinking of glasses and the relatives' exclamations of praise, but they seemed to be drowned out. I raised my glass, my voice calm yet clear. "So, she probably doesn't need that $4,400 I send her every month anymore." The room seemed to freeze. The fork stopped moving. Merlin's smile froze on her face. Taylor's gaze shifted from smugness to wariness. "What do you mean by that?" I swept my gaze across the onlookers. "For 2 years, tuition, tutoring fees, summer camp, everything's been automatically deducted from my account. Didn't you know?" The air shattered with each word I spoke. Father frowned. "You mean, you've been paying for their kids' tuition?" "Yes." Mother's expression was like she'd just been slapped. "Your sister never said that." Maylin took a deep breath and forced a smile. "It doesn't matter, family." I interrupted her. "It doesn't matter? When you're enjoying the praise, have you ever thought about who's paying?" No one dared to clap. Only the awkward sound of a jazz musician misbeating. For the first time, I realized that silence wasn't a virtue. It was aiding and abetting wrongdoing. The next morning, I opened my mobile banking. Automatic transfer $4,400 pending. I pressed cancel. I emailed the accountant. Stop all payments. Received a reply. Done. I stared at the screen like an invisible tether had finally been cut. 5 days passed. No phone calls, no explanations. Only Maylene's WeChat moments post-read. Humble dedication. No need to speak of it. Photo. A picture of her child at the school gate, brightly filtered. I almost burst out laughing. Until a friend messaged, "Your nephew and his friends were expelled from school today." I didn't reply. On the 7th night, there was a loud knock on the door. Bang, bang, bang. Before I could speak, a voice outside gritted its teeth. "Scarlett, open the door." I opened the door. Maylin stood in the doorway, chin held high. "You just suddenly stop the payments like that?" "I'm just stopping being an ATM." She bit her lip. "Do you know how embarrassed the kids were today? The teacher told them in front of them that the bill wasn't paid. Then just tell the school the truth." She seemed to have been hit where it hurt. "What do you mean? We're paying their tuition, it's me, not you. You want to settle accounts with me now?" "Not settle accounts, it's taking back what's mine, the credit." She sneered. "You're just jealous of me." Slap. I don't know when I hit her. The sound was crisp. She touched her face in shock. "Scarlett, you're crazy." "No, imawaka." 3 days later, I received an email from the school. "Please confirm whether you will continue to pay the tuition." It turned out that Merlin used my name to assure the school that I would continue to pay. The phone rang, it was Taylor. He started by sighing. "Scarlett, Merlin is already under enough pressure." It wasn't me who told her to pretend she was rich. "The kids idolize you, they think you'll continue." I asked coldly, "When did you ever tell me I was a parent?" He was silent. I said, "Tell the school I won't pay." I hung up and blocked him. A day later, the father called, his voice heavy. "Come back, let's talk about the kids." When I got home, the living room looked like a courtroom. Merlin and Taylor sat on one side, the parents on the other. Mother spoke. The child can't drop out of school. Father said slowly. You've helped them a lot, we know that. Just hold on for 2 more months, give them a break. I've already held on for 2 years. We don't want you to pay for everything, just a little bit. 4,400 is a little bit? Maylin said coldly. Can you stop acting like everything revolves around you? Nobody's begging you. I laughed. You didn't beg. You just reached out and I gave you money. For 2 years. Father suddenly slammed his hand on the table. Scarlett, this is a child. I stared at him. If you truly care about the child, you should be educating their parents. Father froze. Mother's voice was soft. Scarlett, we never meant for you to think your sacrifices are unimportant. But the result is you didn't see it. Father finally lowered his head. I'm sorry. For the first time, his voice lacked authority, only weariness. It was my fault. He handed me a check. This is our share. I didn't take it, only saying, I'll only pay for 2 months directly to the school. After that, I won't interfere anymore. Merlin suddenly stood up. Scarlett, what would have happened to our children without you? You're just going to walk away like this? I looked into her eyes. I'm not just walking away. I'm returning to you what you should have shared. 3 days later, she appeared at my door again. No makeup, eyes swollen from crying. I've come to apologize. I didn't speak. It's not that I'm ungrateful. I'm just afraid of others knowing I failed. She sniffed. The children asked me, did Aunt Scarlett save us? I told them yes. I was silent. She said softly, thank you for saving us. Really, thank you. She turned to leave and I called out to her. Merlin. She turned back. Don't ever say again. No one helped you. She paused for a second, then smiled, her eyes still red. Okay. 2 months later, I received an envelope from my father. Inside was a check. The amount all I had paid in the past 2 years. There were no words. Only his signature. I smiled. Not because the money was back, but because I was finally seen. At a later dinner party, Meryl stood on the balcony, gasping for breath. I went over. She looked at the distant night view and said softly, Scarlett, if you had refused when I asked you, I might have hated you. I slowly replied, and now, I thank you for refusing to continue. She paused, looked up. Because that day I realized I hadn't just lost a sugar daddy, but almost lost a sister. I didn't answer, just gently patted her shoulder. She sniffed. You're finally not invisible anymore. I whispered. No, I never was. It's just that now I finally allow others to see me.